Hello, and welcome to episode 72 of the Movie Bros podcast. As we always say, we are your hosts, Duncan and Hayden. Hello, hello.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're a returning listener, if you're not, then this is a podcast that, like the title explains, this is two brothers who love movies, talk about movies, and argue, complain, cover movies on this podcast. We do all genres, all types. We have an Instagram page where you can check out more of our smaller updates where we share things about the movies we're going to be talking about, and that's the movie_bros.
This podcast is available on Spotify. It's available on YouTube. Maybe one day we'll do an actual one with video. You never know. And as Hayden said, it's also on Instagram at the movie_bros. If you're looking for something long form, this is it. If you're looking for something short form, a quick little recap, there's Dunk's Movie Corner if you want to check that out. If you want to reach out via DM or comment or anything like that about what we should be talking and watching, obviously do so. Otherwise, we're going to get right down to it. Hayden, what did we watch and what are we talking about this week?
Well, this week we are talking about the, I think aptly named to say, long-awaited movie Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. Came out this year, I think literally a month ago, maybe even a little bit less. So obviously released in 2025. Written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, and by written by, I mean he adapted it from the book by Mary Shelley. Music here is by his longtime collaborator Alexandre Desplat, and he has shown up on several other of our episodes. He also works closely with Wes Anderson, so he shows up in his movies all the time as well. Cinematography is by, again, his longtime collaborator Dan Louston, who works on literally every movie that he's done, so they all look a certain way, and that's one of the reasons why. This stars Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth, Felix Kammerher, Charles Dance, David Bradley, and featuring Bern Gorman, Christian Convery, and Ralph Ineson. And that's all the information I've written down.
Okay. Well, context, you might recognize Del Toro from things like Shape of Water, that won Best Picture, Pinocchio, Pan's Labyrinth, The
Nightmare
Hellboy
Alley.
movies, Nightmare Alley, which I think is underrated. I actually like a lot.
It absolutely is.
So yeah, he's a very established, much more artist side of the
Absolutely,
director.
yeah. He has like one non-artsy movie, and it's like universally agreed upon as his worst movie, even by him. Like
Blade 2?
not Blade 2. I actually forget that one exists. That one's also not great, but that's more of a product of its time. I'm thinking of it's a really shitty alien ripoff about shape-shifting bugs living in the New York tunnel system.
I know what the poster looks like, but I don't remember the name.
I remember watching it once and just...
Isn't it Kronos or something?
No, Kronos is actually his like one of his first movies. It's all in Spanish, about kind of like a monkey's paw type situation of two boys finding this gold beetle thing, and it fulfills their wishes in ways they don't want, and it's a whole thing. Also supposed to be very good. I've never been able to track it down to watch it, and I've always been meaning to, because Del Toro is one of, if not maybe my favorite director. Well, no, I mean, that's a long list. He's one of my favorite directors. I want to watch all of his stuff. It's called Mimic. And it was not good. It was really not good. Don't watch it. Even he doesn't like it. So, but pretty much everything else is usually pretty quality, even if they're not all very similar. Well, I remember last time when we did Star Trek, we said at the top we're going to just start doing ratings at the beginning so we don't forget. I don't remember. There's been some schedule weirdness on our end, so hopefully that doesn't come through on the recording, but we'll see. Duncan, what did you rate this?
I gave it a very strong 4, almost 4.5 for me.
I gave it a 4.5. I think it is very nearly perfect.
Yes, I agree.
I wondered if we would change the same things.
Well, I would say you feel the runtime.
That's one of the things, yeah.
Which I don't know what to cut out. but I think they do need to cut out something because again, it's all beautiful. It's all, I mean, the even if you take the story aside, which I like the story, I like the acting, even if you take whoever is in the foreground away, just everything going on in the background of pretty much every scene, I could watch.
I mean, it is hard competition with some of his other films, but this is a big contender for like maybe the best looking movie he's ever made, which is saying a lot with all the other things we just listed.
I will say though, the part that looked looked like it was made for Netflix a little bit was some of the stuff on the frozen boat.
I didn't mind the frozen boat stuff.
I
I
didn't
think the
mind
stuff
it.
that looked like the cheapest, I think, is a lot of the fire effects looked rushed. And I've since watched some behind the scenes stuff, and they did a lot of explosions practically. So I don't
Mhm.
know what the issue is, but it looks like weirdly blurry and not
Yes.
finished. I don't like that whole section to me where he lights the awesome tower on fire.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, it felt
that's great
yeah.
and that's emotional, but like visually, I think that's a little muddy, but
Mhm.
everything else I think is absolutely gorgeous.
The 12 or 11 hours that Jacob Elordi sits for makeup,
Insane, but it looks great.
I think yeah, and well, I liked the way they did the monster where he was like he was a monster, but he wasn't. I think something that Del Toro is really known for is his monsters are monsters, but they're not
They're
like
not like scary,
just
scary.
yeah. Well, they're also not just monsters. They're gonna have heart. They're gonna have emotion.
Oh, for sure. And I think that so this is a movie that he's wanted to make for years and years and years, and I
Mhm.
think you can see that kind of thematically showing up in all of his other works. There is like the smallest fingerprint of the Frankenstein story in so many of his other stuff.
Well, sure.
Especially
It's
like the father son roles or the
yes,
humanized
yes.
monster stuff. Like he really loves that kind of story.
Hmm.
But I think what makes this one in all the other hosts of Frankenstein adaptations, not even by him, but just that just exist. I think one of the reasons why this one is so good is that it is almost verbatim the book. There is
Yes.
a lot that is just direct adaptation. Very little of it is added in. Some of the stuff that's actually added in is what I would cut and I think would help for runtime. So what that is that Christoph Waltz's character doesn't exist in the book. He's an addition for this to explain why Victor has all the money that he has, which
I get it.
I think that's a necessary role to fill, but also Victor Frankenstein is a baron. He's land rich already. I think they could have absolutely taken all of that B plot out and had more time at the very least for Mia Goth's character to really sell the fact that she was falling in love with the creature instead of literally meeting him twice and deciding, oh, well, this is love at first sight. I need to die in your arms and have all these nice, sweet things to say, which is cool, but it didn't feel earned.
No, and I don't have a ton of other experience with her as an actress, but and maybe it's because you just didn't have a lot to work with. But I mean, her the again the presence of her dresses and everything were amazing, but I felt a little underwhelmed by her.
Yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot to do. I know her primarily from other horror movies,
Well, sure.
but yeah, I think if you free up more time for her character to do more, her character is more interesting because as it stands, she kind of just stands there and
Hmm.
floats around in these, as you say, gorgeous dresses, but she's kind of flat when
Yes.
everyone else is so nuanced and deep.
Well, at least Victor is because for most of the movie he's kind of an asshole, but uh,
Yeah, I like that they chose not to really portray him as sympathetic at all.
not really.
He's shown very briefly sympathetic as a child, and then he's just straight on megalomania the entire movie, and I kind of respect it.
Well, I mean, there are little glimpses like he almost goes back in to save the monster before the tower explodes. There's little bits here and there, but not yeah, it's mostly like, oh, he's obsessed with the idea of can he do it, and then he does it, and he's like, oh shit,
This
I
isn't
didn't
actually
really
what I wanted.
and also didn't plan ahead for like, oh, what if I succeed? What am I gonna do with this monster?
Yeah, I like the idea that he assumed he wouldn't succeed, and so this outcome is nothing what he planned for.
Yes, and then he basically discards him and just goes back to society.
I like, I mean, obviously there's a lot to love design wise here, but I
Sure.
specifically the way the creature is designed. Again, it's a book accurate thing to where he's supposed to be made from quote unquote the best parts, and so he is
Mhm.
beautiful but terrible to look at, like
Yes.
beautifully. I really love that he is obviously haunted looking and off-putting, but he's still undeniably handsome in this in a way which feels unearthly and unsettling. It's very cool.
There were parts of this where I was like, "Man, I mean, he's a monster, he's huge, he must be on stilts," and then you realize, "Oh,
Oh no,
Jacob
Jacob
Elordi's just
Elordi
tall as
is
fuck."
Jacob Elordi is 6'8".
No, he's 6'5",
He's six. Okay, well, he's 6'5".
which
I looked it up
still
earlier and I saw
well,
8. Like,
I saw
that's
he's 6
nuts.
I saw 6'5", and then I think I saw Oscar Isaac is, like,
Well,
5'8" or 5'9" or something like that. I was
yeah,
like,
so you see
"Jesus."
his pictures standing next to each other. He's got like
Yes.
a foot and a half on him.
Yes. I just didn't realize he was this fucking tall.
Yeah.
Um, so another not problem I had, but, the scene where he's hanging out with the blind man and the hunters are like, "Oh, we're gonna go hunt those wolves, we'll be back." Basically, as soon as they leave, all the wolves come back, fuck up the, old man, and then the hunt like, just they're either the worst hunters, the timing.
So I need to reread the book. It's been several years, but that's also a thing that happens in the book. But I want to say that in the book, it's explained that during like the winter that they're gone looking for the wolves, they get like snowed in some fort or
Mm.
something, and they're like stuck out in the wilderness, which is why the creature is able to be there for months on end.
See, that was the thing, I was like, he was there for, like, a long enough to learn language. Like, Jesus,
Yes,
dude. What did you think of the hair? Because it makes sense.
I liked it. I thought that it fit.
It did. I don't know. By the end, I was like, "Okay, now he's, like he's almost too pretty."
I did think that his hair looked perfectly combed the entire
Yes.
time.
Yes, that was my thing. I was like,
And
"Mm,
and and Oscar Isaac as Victor towards the end looks like death. He's disheveled. He's got a full thick beard. His hair's
mhm,
all crazy. Like that makes sense. Jacob Elordi showing up on that boat and looking like, an undead model.
yes."
Eh. I really love the use of the color red all over the place.
Well, you watched the anatomy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Where he was talking about which characters were gonna be using which colors, I thought was interesting.
Mhm. Very cool.
What really threw me though, and I watched this with the lady friend, we both were like, "What the fuck is up with this?" Is for a while you don't realize he's wearing really thin red gloves.
You didn't realize he was wearing bright red leather gloves?
No, like so for a good portion of the movie, like I think the first time you see it, he's walking into the tower for the first time, and he's like his hands are by his side, and you just see that he has
Mm.
red hands, and at first you're like, okay, why does he have blood all over his hands?
Well, I like that he's, like, metaphorically he has bloody hands the entire movie until at the very end when he
Yes.
takes them off to finally touch his quote unquote "son."
Hmm. Well, yeah. Yeah, I also liked. I mean, all the behind the scenes stuff about the costuming was super interesting.
And the fact
Uh,
that they built so much of the actual sets was mind-blowing for a Netflix movie. I mean,
well, I
yes,
think
it's Del Toro and that's his brand, but, like, still,
yes.
the fact that, like, those giant, like, I don't know, glowing red reactor things
Hmm.
are all a real prop,
Yes, are
that's
all dude.
craziness.
All of the dead body parts just fucking everywhere.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, also that scene's hilarious.
I didn't realize that the brother was going to be such a prominent character.
Um, yeah, again, that's a book thing. There are lots of things that when it was essentially Americanized in all the other versions, they do away with. I liked the n so it's kind of hard to tell in the movie, but, Mia Goth plays both, um, uh, uh, Elizabeth, I think her name was, because I don't remember now because 'cause it's been like a week,
Hmm.
and, Victor's mother, but you don't see enough of the Victor's mother character's face to really put two and two together that it's a thematic choice. She's always got like a veil on or something, or it's shot from like the navel area for that child actor looking up, so it's always on him. I don't know if that was a wasted choice or not.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, she plays both.
Hmm.
She just has her eyebrows shaved when she's playing Elizabeth because that's what she looks like in her day to day.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I think about. She has either shaved or super light eyebrows, like in general.
She shaves her eyebrows; it's her thing, I guess.
I I I don't like looking at it. It's weird
I
to
don't
me. Like
care
it
for it either.
there's something about
And
it that I'm like, this isn't right.
I would say I don't know if I would say that she was miscast in this, but she has like a smartphone face, if you know what I mean. Like she looks like a modern person. Oscar Isaac, absolutely believable.
Yes.
Christoph Waltz makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
She looks like a modern 20 something. I
Mhm.
don't know.
I know. I can't explain it, but I know what you mean.
I mean, this is something I say for pretty much everything we review at this point, but I really love the music in this. It plays so well between obvious tense horrific moments like when he's, up on that rooftop and he's got the lightning coming down and it's super dark and gritty and stuff, and that's great. And then it it handles the soft forgiveness scenes so well, and it feels really emotional because it's primarily just like piano and violin, and it feels really personal and intimate.
Hmm.
So for the audience, I watched this at my parents' place because I was visiting them, and they have a nice TV. You should have heard our mother scream when uh the the creature absolutely rips the face open on that guy
Oh, dude,
in the shed, because it
there's a
kind of comes
couple.
out of nowhere.
Well, even how dude, when he fucks up those wolves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, there's
I mean, if there's one thing the other versions get correct, it's that, yeah, he's a huge hulking guy with like ridiculously superhuman strength. And this one, it doesn't show it all the time, but obviously when it does, it really comes out.
mhm. The caskets for both
Those
parents,
are so cool,
very cool.
and those are real things.
Well, I'm sure they were.
I was reading a thing about it during my break at work today. So those were real caskets, or those designed caskets were very real. I can't remember what the exact name for them was, but essentially, it was a full metal with a viewable faceplate that they would then also screw shut once they lower you into the ground. And the idea was that it's completely sealed so that you wouldn't decay as fast, and it would be superstitious for your body and yada yada yada. The reason we stopped doing that is that your body's going to decay regardless, and when it does that, like when you have rotting meat in the freezer, it releases a lot of gas.
Hmm.
So essentially, they would put people in these coffins, they would bury them, and then the coffins would explode underground. So
Okay.
they look really cool, but there's a reason we don't do that anymore.
What did you think about it getting broken into chapters?
I thought it was okay. I didn't mind that. I think that obviously, as we both said, I think both those chapters need to shorten a little bit or lose bits of them so that things feel more earned and impactful. But I think it was fine. I liked that. Uh, it's essentially obviously it's the point of view from two different people, but I like that it is literally the book ended of, oh, now the audience stand-in, the ship captain has to hear the other side of the story.
Mhm. I'm looking quickly at the Wikipedia page to jog my memory, but
Did you spot the Marvel actor in this?
the Marvel actor, I mean, besides Oscar Isaac,
Oh, that's an obvious one. Yes, besides Oscar Isaac.
and I mean, the blind man being, Filch from Harry Potter.
I didn't notice that at first, but yes. So remember when he's doing his like demonstration thing of like the obviously dead cadaver, he's got the arm outstretched and he throws in the ball, which that's an amazing practical effect that they actually built. super cool. Um, one of the I don't know if they're like professors or deans of the school or whatever it may be.
Yes,
The
that's
one of them that
Galactus.
yeah, that's Galactus. I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, that voice is too recognizable. You're obviously Galactus.
Well, you also recognize Lars Mikkelsen, yeah?
As his brother?
So the captain of the boat is Lars Mikkelsen.
Oh, right.
Uh,
I got that yeah, got that
I don't know
confused.
if he's related to Mad Mikkelsen. I would assume so, but
There's no one else with that name
yes, but
with that name.
just
It's got to be.
I know. I mean, he was in House of Cards as like the not Putin. I mean, he was in Star Wars. He was in Sherlock. Or do you recognize the Pacific Rim actor?
Oh, Bern Gorman? Yes.
Hmm.
He's a personal like friend and favorite of Del Toro, so he literally shows up in every single product. You know, I saw someone comment on their one of Bern Gorman's posts where it's like, "Oh, hey, I'm in this." It's like, uh, my favorite game is watching a Guillermo del Toro movie and playing Spot Bern Gorman.
Hmm. Interesting.
It used to be that he did that with Ron Perlman, but he didn't show up in this one.
I heard rumors that they might make a Hellboy 3, and I mean, I don't think that's going to
Oh,
happen.
with Del Toro?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen, and B, Ron Perlman is way too old anyway.
Ron Perlman's way too old, and Del Toro, I think, has said in a couple interviews that he just doesn't want to do that anymore. It's too many, sour grapes between him and the people who own the rights to his Hellboy. So
Sure.
yeah,
Well,
he
just
doesn't want to do it
and
anymore.
there's other things to make.
There's other things to make, and I love both the Hellboy movies. I think it's one of the rare instances where the sequel is actually better than the original. But he's gone on to make more interesting artistic movies than what
Agreed.
those are. And
Like,
and those are great. I would rather have The Shape of Water. I would rather have Nightmare Alley. I would rather have this than a Hellboy 3.
mhm.
I don't want to talk over you the whole episode though. So
No, you're good. I mean, I'm just trying to think backwards.
I was thinking, we should do a whole thing where we try to watch all of his movies in like release order, but they're kind of hard to track down.
hmm.
I mean,
I still have
I
never
own
seen.
like three
I've,
or four
I've
of them at
never
this
seen
point, but
Pan's
you've never
Labyrinth.
seen. Okay, we're gonna do that in the future. Pan's Labyrinth is amazing and beautiful. You have to watch it.
Well, add it to the list. That and Truman Show for sure.
I mean, as long as you don't mind reading captions, then yes.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Eh, You never know.
What else? What else?
So I mean, it's something that I'm literally just stealing from Oscar Isaac as he's quoted in saying this in one of the interviews. But there's a really nice like switching of roles that, especially once you get into the second half of the movie, as the creature becomes more human and becomes more eloquent and more nuanced, Victor himself becomes more monstrous and angry. He talks a lot less. He has like the prosthetic leg, so he's hobbling around. He's carrying a gun all the time. He's covered in these huge fur cloaks, so he looks like this imposing figure, even though we know he's only like 5'4". But I think it's a really interesting idea that they're kind of one's gaining positive traits while the other loses them.
Well, and in some ways, uh, he's starting to look more and more like the monster.
Yes.
You heard that this was supposed to be Andrew Garfield, right?
I did hear that, and even though I love me some Andrew Garfield, I having now seen this, I don't know that I can picture him doing this role.
Yeah, honestly, I think obviously, well,
I mean, I'm sure he would have done great, but
sure, but yeah, I think I mean, the height for sure, but just
that's very
uh
true.
and I mean with the amount of makeup on anyone, I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think really the only person that I'm like, I don't know about them is Mia Goth. Everyone else, I'm like, yeah, I'd keep pretty much everyone as is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would keep everyone in as is, as I said at the top of the episode. I think I would get rid of Christoph Waltz's Harlander character. I don't know that he's all that necessary.
Well, I'm saying if you were keeping the character, who would you want to cast as the I mean, I think he's great as that character.
But what I was going to say is that I think even though his character is kind of unnecessary, he's putting out a more interesting performance than her.
Yes.
But is that because she doesn't have as much to do?
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's say, okay, even if she was only given that much, do you think someone else could do more with it?
Um, I don't know. And also, I don't know who else I would cast.
Yeah.
Well, I think Florence Pugh could also do an equally good job. I think she kind of has a old world looking kind of face, and she would fit the age range.
Hmm.
There's also this thing where Mia Goth has, I don't know if it's an accent or just an affectation she has in her voice where she kind of sounds like breathy and nasally all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in like across the board, whether I've seen her in any of the Ty West X movies or she shows up in the one weird Cronenberg movie she was in. She always talks like that. I think it's a little annoying. So I don't know. Maybe someone who doesn't sound like that, but I don't know that. I don't think her shortcomings in this are entirely her fault. I just think that she's kind of buried under everyone else having such more fleshed out roles.
Fair. Totally fair.
I did think it was funny that Charles Dance, who plays Victor's father,
Mm-hmm.
he has also played another Victor Frankenstein's father in another adaptation. This is the second time he's played essentially the exact same role.
Huh.
Yeah, he also played Victor's father in the aptly named Victor Frankenstein with Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy, which I also think is very good, but it is not very book accurate. It's just a well told version of the
Oh,
story.
not that's Victor Frankenstein, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if people enjoyed this, what would you suggest them to watch?
I would recommend. I mean, by Del Toro for almost anything.
I mean that's a fairly easy out, yeah.
I would maybe also recommend if you want some sort of hoary creature, maybe Nosferatu.
I was just thinking that. You have the the smaller girl with the large eyes and the towering guy holding or and the towering guy with the huge fur cloak. It's the exact same dynamic.
Well, just I wonder if you could put. Now that I think of her, when you said big eyes, would you put
Oh, could you put Lily Rose Depp in this?
well either her or oh god, young Furiosa?
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy. I actually I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a good swap out for Mia Goth. I think she would fit.
Okay, because I was thinking, I was like, is she too pretty?
No, and well, I think not that I want her to be like ridiculously beautiful. That's not the point. But like, she's supposed to be attractive enough to catch the eye of like both the main characters and one of the main characters' brother. Like, it would be understandable for her to be very pretty.
True, that's true.
I don't think I would swap Mia Goth into Nosferatu though, just because I think
No.
Lily Rose Depp kind of has like again that old world looking face.
Yes.
Do you think this buckets? Even though it technically went to theaters, but not for that long.
I mean, you could do like a some sort of body part or something.
I think the easy one is that you do the Frankenstein gag and you can eat out of his head.
Sure. I don't know. It's not as strong
It is kind of weird to look at something that is a Del Toro movie that doesn't have an obvious like
thing.
thing to do. Well, actually, no. There is an obvious thing. You get the popcorn bucket and you design it like one of those glowing red battery canisters, and you take the top off and you can put um like your soda and stuff into that.
Hmm.
I think that works.
Well, I wish we had more to say, to be honest. But since neither of us took notes while watching this,
And
respectively,
it's yeah.
well, that might be realistically like 20 minutes of actual talking.
Well, it's okay.
So If you want to, obviously, I think we would both recommend people to
Oh,
watch it.
absolutely recommend you watch this.
It is on Netflix. Keep in mind, it is 2.5 hours. There are shorter semi chapters to it, so if you want to like watch a chapter,
You could absolutely break this up into like 2 sittings.
hmm
I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you could.
well, what I did is I watched until like the next chapter, paused, made some food, came back, watched the
Fair,
rest,
fair.
kind of thing. From there, folks, we're going to shift into what we watched, what we're going to watch, that kind of mode. So,
Well,
Hayden, what have you
um,
watched in the last like week and a half since I've been gone?
yeah, so for the listeners, Duncan's been gone on a vacation with his, girlfriend. They've been doing some diving in Mexico. Um, so obviously, they've not taken time out of their idyllic vacation to watch any movies, which is okay. That's totally fine. So, I don't know if you have any movies that you've watched, but it's also fine if you haven't.
There's some, yeah.
I've watched 3 movies. I watched all 3 Terrifier movies because I wanted to try and understand the hype. I wanted to get why everyone was obsessed with these movies. I mean, my boss at work has Art the Clown tattooed on his arm. Like,
That's crazy.
it, that's crazy for how absolute dog shit these movies are. Yes. Um.
Is it as so bad it's good?
No, it's so bad. It's weirdly boring. Like, I would classify these movies as like movies for people who have like a fetish for gore. It's that's it. Like there's no tension, there's no real character work, there's no suspense. It's just, hey, we're gonna have a guy in clown makeup chop up attractive women and pull their intestines out and spray blood all over the place and hack their limbs off, and it's mindless shock value for 3 movies. I can't for the life of me understand why these have the following that they have. I mean, granted, I don't like slasher movies. They're just not my cup of tea. Not in the, oh, I can't handle them, they're so scary. It's just I don't like that genre. I think
Mhm.
it's like the shallow end of the pool as far as horror movies go. So maybe I was not set up for success for trying to get these movies, but Jesus, were these bad in my opinion. I just they sucked so bad.
Okay, good to know.
So I would not recommend them. But I guess if you really want to prove me wrong, those are available on Tubi. And then looking forward to, I'd still love to see Running Man. I'd still love to see Predator Badlands. Um, there's some other stuff, but I'm extremely tight on money right now, so I haven't been able to do that.
That's fair. I'm also at the point where I'm like, oh, I need to come back home and go back to work because, yeah, money's. Uh,
Yep.
so I did watch a few things. Some of it was on the planes going to and from.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Some of it has been since I got back, but I watched Materialists, which is by
Okay.
Celine Song. This is her second ever movie. Her first was Past Lives, which is fantastic. It's really good. Um, this, I mean, you know about this? What this movie is roughly about?
I know vaguely what it's about. It didn't seem interesting to me.
Love triangle between Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans,
Yeah.
and she cannot. I have yet to see her in anything where she
Oh,
can
she's a
act.
horrible
She's
actress.
terrible. I mean, we talked about it immensely in Madam Web, but she's horrible in this.
Well, she's
And
also a very obvious nepo baby. Like,
yes, no, yes, yeah,
yeah.
but well, and I mean, even if it was someone else in the role, the character is not a like. It is the movie's about her. It's about, oh, does he choose Chris Evans or Pedro Pascal? And I don't think either of the men should choose her. She's terrible. She's not a good person. Like she's not a likable character. And Chris Evans is like the like, oh, I actually like there's real love there, but I'm poor. And Pedro Pascal is the I'm a billionaire, but I'm generally pretty nice. And I'm like, dude, neither of you should be with this. Like she's way too obsessed with money. Uh and then yes, not to get into, but yeah, but she's it was I mean the movie looked really good. The music was nice. I mean, I understand from a like aesthetic point of view, Dakota Johnson is an attractive person. I get that. but it really just grinded to a halt for me watching.
Oh,
Like I gave it,
she's awful.
yeah. So I think I gave it a 3 out of 5, and I thought that was pretty generous, to be honest.
It sounds like it, yeah.
From there, I skipped around most of Top Gun Maverick because I just wanted the highlights, to be honest, on the plane,
Sure, sure.
which is fun. So I'm counting that as a watch. I obviously watched Frankenstein, and then me and the lady friend are slowly working through Harry Potter because
Well,
apparently she
that's a
watched.
very, like, Christmassy series,
Yes,
so
apparently she watches all of them every single year, which I'm like, that's a fucking lot, dude.
that's
Um,
that's a time commitment.
but so I feel like I always rewatch the later ones a lot more. The younger ones are a lot of fun. They're much lighter, and
See,
I because I don't rewatch them as much. There's a lot of the scenes that I completely forgot about.
see, I think I have, like, an opposite thing. I feel like I've watched 1 through 4 a lot more than I've watched the other ones.
Oh, see, I feel like 3, 4, and 5 are like peak.
I mean, the 3rd one with where they brought in, like, an actual, like, artistic director Alfonso Cuarón is
Yes.
pretty fucking good.
Well, and number 4, where they got the tournament, I'm like, dude, that's so much fun. I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the Order of the Phoenix, or the secret, like they're the rebellious army or whatever.
Sure, sure.
And anyway, um, so we watched the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where
If
you're
you're in the
at.
UK or not, yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah, lots of fun. The chess scene that he's going to sacrifice himself.
And all of those are practical, huge
Yes,
chess people. Like, that's so cool. Back in,
so
like,
cool.
2002 when you had to do it that way, super
Hmm.
impressive.
And then it's not so. Those are the movies that I've seen, but most of the flights there and back. I watched a little of it years ago, but I'm like actually watching through all of it now. Mr. Robot with Rami Malek.
It's pretty good.
It's very good. However, it doesn't make me feel great because a lot
No,
of
it
the thing,
doesn't.
well, a lot of the problems and things in that are like, oh, these are the exact things that are happening right now.
Yeah,
Not the hackery stuff, but like how the world works.
it's an uncomfortable watch even though it's, like, maybe a decade old now. It's still unfortunately relevant in a lot of ways.
Yes. But Christian Slater is excellent in it. Remy Malik, I get why that made him a star because he is
Mhm.
really good in it.
Well, so the people who made and wrote that, we have actually reviewed one of their movies.
I recognize the name, but I couldn't place it.
We had the most split opinion we've ever had on the, show.
Oh, did he make Comet?
He did.
Hell
And
yeah.
you'll notice that,
Hell yeah.
well, it's the exact same kind of overly talky, know-it-all, annoying character.
Sort of, yeah, sort of. So that's what I've been watching. What I'm looking forward to, yes, I'd like to see The Running Man. I've heard like if you're just going for a very fun action movie, that is
I've heard
exactly what you're going to get.
I've heard weirdly mixed things about it, which is strange because it's freaking Edgar Wright and Glenn Powell and all these super talented people.
Yes.
So I'm surprised it's not getting better feedback, I guess.
Yeah. And then yes, also Predator Badlands because it has gotten really good feedback. Uh, Wake Up Dead Man. I always have really enjoyed Knives Out.
Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah.
The first one was like a really. I mean, I think we talked about it, and
It's
then
perfect movie. It's excellent.
yeah. Well, I think that's one of the ones where we talked about either that or it was one of those
We did
Fantastic
a
Mr.
double
Fox.
episode and then we lost half of it.
Okay. So either way, yes, perfect movie. I think. Um, what else? I feel like there's been something else that's coming out. I am again tentatively interested in Marty Supreme, and that's coming.
Yeah, I want to know more about it, but tentatively, yes.
I could not care less that they made another Now You See Me, Now You Don't movie.
Yeah, I think those actors all just needed an extra easy paycheck.
I'm kind of interested in Die My Love
I
with
am
Robert
not.
Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't want to see two people argue on screen and pay money for it. I don't like those kind of movies.
Well, it sounds like it's more than just arguing, like she's like slowly losing her fucking mind kind of thing.
Perhaps I guess all the clips I've seen of it is just them having a screaming match.
Wicked 2 comes out this week, and again, not my cup of tea, but
Not my
it
cup of
is.
tea. Early reviews are not great.
Really? Oh, because I thought I saw stuff that they were very good.
I've seen a couple things and I'll send it to you, but it's like a lot of them are like, "Hey, this has no life. This is so unmoving and unaffecting and just loud for the sake of being loud." So I've seen a lot of people who
Hmm.
did not enjoy it.
I have heard suppose because again, it's all based off the play. I've heard that the second half of that play is the not as good. Like the first half of the play is better,
Oh, okay.
so that
I
might be part of it.
obviously not seen the play.
Yeah, like I obviously don't really give a shit. So
um, so they've released table read and set photos from Jumanji 3. Do we care? Do we want to watch it?
I don't care. I'll be honest.
I quite like the first two, but I
Eh,
don't know that I think there's been too much time and people are now firmly cemented in not being interested in The Rock, so I don't know if this will go as well as they hope it will.
well, and uh even Kevin Hart, I'm done.
I I think they just I think they waited too long. They didn't strike while the anvil was hot because I do think the first two are super fun, albeit very tame action comedies. But it's been like 6 or 7 years.
Sure, I mean everyone got busy doing other things, but yes.
Yes. Um, I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume you have no interest in the now announced Super Mario Bros. 2.
Oh, Super Mario Galaxy or whatever. Yeah, I could not care less.
I again, I kinda like the first one
Mm,
in a, like, mindless, bright, fun entertainment kinda way. I kinda liked it. So if it's more of that, I will probably see it on streaming like I saw the other one.
I thought the first one was such a like, oh look at all the things we can reference,
Well,
and that was kind of all it was.
I don't know how you make a Mario movie and not do that, though. I think we talked about this last time.
Sure, maybe just don't make one, but that's okay.
Eh, well, possibly.
I also saw, I mean, along the same lines. I think you even shared it on our story, but Link and Zelda.
I'm that's like a tentatively curious for me because they're getting the director from the most recent Planet of the Apes movie, which I thought was excellent, and you can do a lot more pseudo mature type stories with the Link and Zelda stuff than you can with Mario. So I'm interested to see what they do with it, even if they just do a Lord of the Rings ish kind of adaptation. I think it'll be more thematically interesting than Chris Pratt as Mario.
Sure. Speaking of that, you saw that they got yeah, they officially signed on who's going to be writing or directing the next Star Trek movies.
I thought they weren't making anymore, so no, I don't.
Well, they are no longer doing that same Chris Pine ones, but they are starting something new. It is I can't think of their names now. It's hold on. I mean, it's the guy who used to act in Freaks and Geeks who turned into a writer and director.
Oh, John Francis Daly.
Yes, he's it's uh it's him and someone else.
We've seen one of his movies and we've done an episode on it.
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I know.
Yes, but that's a great sign of confidence. That actually makes me more interested in that project.
Well, it does, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if that translates to like, I don't want it to be a goofy like, I don't know.
I think I don't know if I expect it to be goofy, but I think if you hire nerds to make a nerdy thing, it's
Sure,
going to be. I think they'll at least be more respectful of the source material.
that's fair.
So
Because I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm like, I do like that. Like the the J.J. Abrams one or ones plural are serious. There's some jokes, but it is serious. It's
I like the direction we took it in, and folks, if you want to hear us talk about that,
oh,
go to
there you
one
go.
episode back. I like the direction we take it in, where it's more of like an action adventure. I'm curious to see if they can mix that tone with the more like Wrath of Khan type tone, where it's a little bit more philosophical, pseudo analytical kind of stuff that Star
Hmm.
Trek, as the original show and like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, is more known for. And I think if there's anyone who can do that, it's going to be someone who makes D&D stuff and is into that kind of a thing. So that's actually very interesting. Well, is there anything
Jonathan,
else we'd sorry, go right ahead.
it's okay. So yeah, I'm just reading the article. New Star Trek movie in works at Paramount from Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly,
Yeah,
as of
same
3 days ago.
yeah, same writing and directing partners from Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves, which if you would like to hear us talk about that, that's like a year ago. So you might need to scroll for a little bit.
And it looks like they are going to write, produce, and direct it.
Cool.
But I'm curious, are they going to go and recast uh,
Oh, they're gonna have to
Jim
recast
Kirk
everybody.
again?
They as much as I like Chris Pine as an actor, he's now too old.
No, I'm saying, like, do you do that same story in Spock, or do
Oh,
you
um,
do something else?
I feel like they probably will, but I think it'd be interesting if they did something with the next generation.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they've already done something
give
with
me
the original. That's fair.
like give me young Picard
Yeah,
or
I think that'd be
give me
interesting.
young Riker or something. I think that'd be super cool.
Um, what else? I think that's all the movie news I can think of.
Well, folks, this has been Frankenstein from the year 2025, specifically the Guillermo del Toro version. Both of us really liked it. We had a few small issues with it. If you would like to watch this, then we do recommend you watch this. It's available on Netflix. And next week, Duncan, what are we watching?
We are going to be watching Upgrade from 2018. This is also available on Netflix if you want to check that out and then come back and listen to what our thoughts are on it. That'll be next week on the Movie Bros podcast. And as we have said hello, hello, we're now going to say goodbye, goodbye, and we'll talk to you all next week.